Back here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Need seats to a game? Download the Vivid Seats app and enter promo code CHAMPS at checkout to get 10% off your first order. Don't buy just any seat. Get a Vivid seat. 888, say ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. You are listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Let's. By the way, hour number 2, start of hour number 2, just so y'all know, I will have champions in the studio with me. Oscar De La Hoya, former welterweight, junior middleweight champion of the world, lightweight champion of the world as well. Golden Boy Promotions, promoter extraordinaire. He will be on the show in studio with Daniel Jacobs and Saul Canelo Alvarez. They're unifying the WBA, WBC, IBF belts. They're fighting for the middleweight championship of the world May 4th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. They will be in studio with yours truly at the top of the hour. All 3 of them. So don't miss it. Let's go to the phones. Donovan, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
What's going on, man? Hey, this is a great move for the Cowboys because they really brought back their number 2 receiver because Jason Witten has always been the number 2 receiver on the Cowboys. But if they don't make the Super Bowl, this will be, like you said earlier, like, once again, the pinnacle. They find some way to lose. And it's like, what's the excuse now? Like, who do you point to blame?
You know what? I love the fact that you said that. That'll be my narrative for the next year. Super Bowl or bust.
That'd be crazy.
Super Bowl or bust. Super Bowl or bust. All right? Jason Wynn should help you that much. That works for me. I like it. I like it, Donovan. Appreciate the call, man. Adam, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
Hey, Stephen A. I'm a Cowboys fan. As much as I hate to admit this, I'm going to have to disagree with you and give you hope. I don't think Witten's going to help the offense much at all. He declined over the last couple of years. You know, I'd much rather they just re-sign Cole Beasley and have Cole Beasley be their safety net. But
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. You want me to tell you why? Number one, they were running the ball effectively with Ezekiel Elliott, and as a result, they relied on him more than they needed to rely on Witten and others. That's number one. Number two, he didn't have a number 1 receiver. Des Bryant had diminished somewhat. Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley weren't necessarily the answer, and having Amari Cooper open things up for him, that could free him up. Number 3, Dak Prescott wasn't the most accurate thrower in the world his second season there. So I think the combination of a couple of things sort of derailed or compromised Jason Witten in ways that I don't think will be the case this year.
He's upper 30s. I would much rather see them. You know, you saw actually improvement from the tight ends in the second half of the year. I think, like I said, I think Cole Beasley is going to get you more separation. He can be that safety net. Let those 2 young tight ends kind of develop. I mean, I don't know, maybe this is opening the door for him to be a coach for the Cowboys coming up, but I don't like it. He was already getting worse. He's older already as it is. He's had a year away from the game. I got
to admit to you, I think you're being entirely too critical and not appreciative enough of the greatness of Jason Witten. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm coming to his defense, but I truly mean it. I mean, this is a Hall of Fame tight end here. And when you look at what he brings to the table, somehow reliable hands, it's exceptional route running, obviously can block out of the tight end spot, which is going to further protect and assist not just Dak Prescott, but Ezekiel Elliott. There's a lot more pluses than minuses that comes along with Jason Witten's return to the Dallas Cowboys. I think it spells trouble for everybody in the NFC East. I can tell you that much. And I think it spells trouble for everybody in the NFC, period. So I don't view it that way. I really don't.
I think you're looking at the Jason Witten from 5-6 years ago.
No, I'm looking at it from the 1 to 2 years ago. I'm not looking at the numbers. I'm not looking at numbers because I know the numbers weren't there. I'm talking about watching him run routes, looking at Dak Prescott and some of his troubles throwing the football, looking at the fact that you had people suffocating him with double coverage sometimes because they didn't have to worry about a number 1 wide receiver because Des Bryant couldn't get open the way that he used to. I think all of those things are relevant.
Hey, Stephen, I hope you're right. I hope you are right that the Cowboys are going to be successful. That would make my day. But, yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be real interesting. I think it compels the Giants to do something. You're going to stick with Eli Manning? How come the Giants aren't trying to trade for Josh Rosen? How come the Giants aren't looking at Nick Foles? who's a Super Bowl champion, the Super Bowl MVP, and oh, by the way, has been excelling within the same division as the New York Giants. Now that the Eagles have decided to just be beautiful to Nick Foles. I mean, giving them something that you just don't see happening for too many others. You know what? We're not going to worry about compensation. We're not going to worry about getting equitable compensation for Nick Foles. We love him. We appreciate him. He's such a beautiful human being and a nice guy. Since he wants out because he wants to quarterback his own team, we believe he's earned that right and he deserves it. So we're just going to let him go. We're not going to franchise tag him. We're not going to insure ourselves by positioning ourselves for equitable compensation. Nope. What we're going to do is we're going to sit there and we're going to make sure we let everyone know you can have Nick Foles. Don't worry about us. I mean, it's beautiful to be Nick Foles. I would say something else, but I'm not going to go there today. But it's beautiful to be Nick Foles. But if you're the New York Giants, why are you not looking into that? Assuming they're not, of course. I'm just wondering. Josh Rosen's young. Nick Foles is older, but not too old. And he's a veteran with experience and a Super Bowl championship on his resume. And Eli Manning is not what he used to be. What's the problem? That's just me. Chris, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, Stephen A? Love your show, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I just got a couple of things I disagree with. I mean, I agree with something. The Jason Witten thing, he's 72 years old. I'm really not worried about an older tight end to be that much of an impact. You're talking like they signed Travis Kelce.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there, okay? Let me ask you a simple question, okay? And answer me this honestly, all right? When you look at Jason Witten, okay, how many times in his career did you watch this man run routes and say to yourself, how the hell did he get the ball?
Agreed.
How is he open? Look at how slow he looks. And somehow, some way, he's always open. He's getting you critical first downs. He's helping you convert critical third down situations. How many times in your career did you find yourself tempted to throw something at your TV, or unless you're a Cowboy fan, jump up in shock and adulation because this guy somehow, some way kept killing you? How many times?
A lot of times. I'm a Giants fan, and a lot of times it's happened, but I just think that time, after taking the year off, that time has passed. But I really wanted to get to the Giant conversation that you're making. I 100% agree with you with this nepotism crap with Eli Manning and the fans making loud voices about him needing to play and what we owe him. Listen, time is up. It's over. And I don't want Foles. I don't want Rosen. And Rosen, if they wanted him last year, they'd have took him. I'm not going to trade for Rosen. I'm not going to give up assets for Rosen. Why not Teddy Bridgewater? He's cheap. He played under Shermer. We can get him, and then we can still keep our draft pick, and the money is right, and the kid's young. He's 26. This is a young man's game.
I like Teddy Bridgewater.
Let's go, man.
I like that. I like that selection. Not only that, first of all, he was a starting quarterback for the first couple of years in the NFL. He was relatively pedestrian, but he didn't make mistakes, which is a big deal with them. Not to mention the fact that he could throw the football, and not only that, over the last year, he's had the opportunity to learn under Drew Brees. I like it. Wouldn't bother me, but let's see if it happens. Jonathan, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A., we were talking about Jason Witten here. I'm going to borrow your own words, where you said he's a snail with arthritis in his knees when snails don't even have knees.
That's right. Exactly.
Right? And it's like, okay, he's always open. I get what you're saying, but what happens to the old men in the league that don't have the speed that's required?
I'm going to time out. I'm going to regurgitate the same thing I just said to the previous caller. How many times have you looked at Jason Witten? Are you a Cowboys fan? Are you a Cowboys fan, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. How many times have you looked at Jason Witten and wanted to throw something at your TV? Because time and time again, as slow as his behind was, he would always be open and always converting some third down or getting some key reception. How many times in your career have you seen that happen with Jason Witten?
You're right, my friend.
And by the way, when have we ever accused him of having speed? Tell me once.
No matter what. I mean, that was cool.
He's always looked slow. He's always looked slow, and he's always open, and he's always catching passes when you need him to.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you think he can come back and do it?
But listen, man, listen. He stayed away from the game just for a year. He's not going to a different situation. He's going to the same system he departed from. Same quarterback, same running back, pretty much same offensive line. The only thing that's changed is that he's got a number one receiver to lean on in Amari Cooper to take some pressure off of him. Even Cole Beasley might still be there for crying out loud. And I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm just saying anything's possible. My point to you is, you got Jerry Jones. You got Jason Garrett. Scott Linehan isn't there anymore. Who cares? He needed to be gone. So my point to you is, the only thing that's different is that he avoided getting hit for a year. That's it. That's it. What else is there? What else is there? And you know there's no way on earth they would have pressured him to come back. And Jerry Jones, that damn slick salesman that he is, because Jerry Jones could sell anything. I'm ashamed to admit it. I love the guy. I just love him. And it was a pleasure meeting Stephen Jones. I'm almost going over to the dark side. Because I liked Stephen Jones when I met him. I really did. And I love me some Jerry Jones. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I really like Jerry Jones. I really do. It's them damn cockroaches known as Cowboy fans. A nuclear bomb could drop, and somehow, some way, they'd come out of the rubble. Those damn Cowboy fans make me sick. I can't stand them. And they're going to be there. You tell me what's the downside to Jason Witten returning.
Hey, you have a leader in the locker room, number one.
Exactly. You see, you're peeling out the positives now, Jonathan. That's what you're doing. You're peeling out the positives.
Yeah. There's some positives there. Let me ask you another question, Stephen A. Unrelated. Kyler Murray. What is this I hear that his hand size is bigger than Baker Mayfield's? Is that true?
Yes, it is. 9.5. 9.5. It's bigger than Baker Mayfield. He's 207 pounds. And he's 5'10" and 1/8 inches.
What do you think about that?
Huh?
What do you think about his hand size being bigger than Baker's?
Once I heard the hand size, because see, if you don't have big hands, you're more likely to fumble the football and all of that stuff. Once I saw the big hand size, knowing that he's a pocket passer, that he threw for over 4,000 yards, 4,300 yards, that he threw for 42 touchdowns and just 7 interceptions, that he completed 69% of his passes, that he was relatively considered a pocket passer, even though he has speed and wheels on him, the likes of which we may not have seen since Michael Vick. My attitude is he's clearly the number one overall pick in the draft now. You got to get rid of Josh Rosen, send him somewhere else, and you got to draft Kyler Murray with the number one overall pick if you're the Arizona Cardinals. It's that simple to me.
It's going to happen? I thought they were leaning on Derek Carr.
No. The Cardinals?
Yeah.
No. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You go Kyler Murray if you could go Kyler Murray. That's what you do. What the hell has Derek Carr done that makes, other than his one good year? He had one good year where he was an MVP candidate and went down the second to last game of the season. And I like Derek Carr despite our little spats here and there. He seems like a really good guy. I'm not messing with him. And I'm not saying he's a scrub by any stretch of the imagination, but he's got a lot to prove. And if I'm Arizona, I'm thinking about Kyler Murray being box office. And I'm going for that. Got to run. Appreciate the call. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. More to Stephen A. Smith Show before Canelo Alvarez, Oscar De La Hoya, and Daniel Jacob come on and start off hour number 2 in a minute. If you missed my opening segment, go check it out on demand in the Stephen A. Smith Podcast. Brought to you by Capital One. Capital One is reimagining banking, offering accounts with no fees or minimums that can be opened in 5 minutes. Capital One. Hey, what's in your wallet? 888-SAY-ESPN. More to come with Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News.
Gentlemen, you've been sitting around for too long. Whether you want to get to the game, NFL, college, MLB, or concert, look no further than Vivid Seats, the official ticket partner of ESPN. Go to vividseats.com and enter promo code ESPN to get 10% off your order.
Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com.